So listen, I'm coming on because I messed up, y'all. Listen, I messed up and I'm coming on to correct my mistake. So most of you know that I have Grace to Lead. That was a vision that was given to me by God to start Grace to Lead. And in fact, I got that vision, and then God sent a couple people, a couple men and women of God to confirm that through prophetic words or, what some things like that. And so I knew that the vision that I got for Grace to lead was right. And I knew that there were two things that I was supposed to do. One, I was supposed to start the podcast, and the second thing was to write the book, Equipped by God, Grace to Lead. So I did that. So you would think that was good, right? I got the vision, I wrote it down, it was confirmed by people of God, right? And then I moved forward. But let me tell you where I messed up. So once I started the podcast started to grow. I released the book recently, and people are buying it, and it is blessing people's lives. And I'm so humbled by that, right? And so, what did I do, y'all? I took that little success. I mean, and it wasn't like huge success, but it was success nonetheless. What God said would begin to happen happened. I went back to that vision, and then I started creating strategy. I created an implementation plan. I created a business plan. I even began to get people on my team. So I had somebody to come alongside me, and I started implementing the things. That's where I messed up, because I implemented the vision that God gave me. And this is just real talk, y'all. I'm just being transparent. I implemented the vision that God gave me based on the experts, based on some business strategists, some ministry strategists. I said, okay, Grace to Lead is a business and a ministry, and I did what the experts said to do. I mean, like, have y'all seen my Facebook and my Instagram lately and my webpage? Like, I did all the things. But real talk, I started to get frustrated because though there's been growth, and not a lot has been happening. This is where I messed up. I had the vision, I did what God said to do, but I didn't go back to God and say, what was next? Oh my goodness. I'm out here doing all the things, looking all great. I mean, I am very pleased with Instagram, Facebook, website, all of that, all the podcast, everything. But not once did I go back and say, God, okay, what's next? Anybody else make that mistake where God gives you a vision, he gives you one or two steps, then you go and you do it, and then you take off full steam ahead like, okay, I'm doing it. But what did God say? I don't know, because I didn't ask. Because I'm doing what's right. I'm taking the vision. I made the plan, and then I ran with it. That's what the saints say, to write the vision, right? That's what the word says. Make it plain on tablets, and so that those that may see it may run with it. So I was running with it, but y'all, I didn't once consult God again. So I am admitting that I messed up. Now, why am I doing this live? Because God said to tell the people. So I'm telling y'all, I'm transparent. I'm telling y'all, I messed up. But the good news is it's not too late for me to stop and start again. And so I just wanted, oftentimes, and I wrote this down. Let me see if I can find it. So the thing is that I took God's vision, right? And then I used man's strategy to implement it. When ultimately the vision God gave me was one, for me to do what he had planned for me, his purpose, his plan, and his vision for me and my life and the things that he wanted me to use my skill sets to do. But also it has to glorify God. How am I going to glorify God with something he gave me when I take what he gave me and then I try to do it man's way? So I am correcting that now. um, I have stopped with all of my, and I know my team, the people who actually, and I prayed for a team, y'all. I prayed for a team. God sent the people, and now I'm telling them, hey, just hang on for a second. Let me listen to God. And so I'm telling you this because I know that God wants you to hear it. If you are like me and you messed up, you have a God idea. You took that God idea, you did what God said in the one step or two step. I'm always saying, if you feel stuck, take the first next step that God gives you. But you do that, you kind of get caught up and you don't go back to God. If that is you, I'm telling you that you can stop and start again. I am going to be talking about this more on my podcast tomorrow on the Grace to Lead podcast, and some practical steps that I'm taking that God has given me in order to get back on the right track. But I'm telling you, if you are in this place where you have a God idea, you're moving full steam ahead, and maybe you're not getting the progress that you think, maybe you're frustrated because you're like, well, this isn't what God said. And maybe the frustration is part to help you grow. But perhaps, just perhaps, it's because you got ahead of God. And so if you are like me and you messed up, you can turn this thing around. I, for one, have decided to go back to God and say, okay, first, I'm sorry. I'm putting it out here on these Facebook and Instagram and YouTube streets to let y'all know that I messed up. So this is like accountability, right? But two, God, what do you want me to do next? What is the next step? And Lord, I will wait on you to give me that step. So I'm coming on for accountability, but also to encourage somebody else. If you are in the place where I am and you got a God vision, I mean a God vision for the book, a God vision for the ministry, a God vision for the business, a God vision for the job strategy, even on our jobs, a promotion. God says you're going to be promoted, tell you to do this one thing, and then you over here doing all these things, all the things. You're doing all the things. But did God say that? Did you consult God with his vision? After all, he's responsible for the success. I know I didn't. I'm just telling on myself. So, what you see from me coming forth, I will be sharing my journey. But what you see going forth will only be what God says. It will only be if God says it. And I know it's not going to make sense. I know it's not going to necessarily align with the strategies of the world. I know that it's not going to align with what the experts say and all of that. But what did God say? I am at a place where I know that my influence is necessary, that my skills and my gifts are necessary for the kingdom in the world, in business, as a leader. I don't have this level of influence in my job, in my corporate spaces, in ministry, or whatever for nothing. But I can do nothing if it's not, I can't do anything if it's not the way God wants it to be. So, more to come. I'll be talking again more about this on the Grace Lee podcast tomorrow's episode. Thursday's episode is about this. I'll be talking practicality, but I'm just coming on for accountability. Listen, if you are in this place, put something in the comments. Let me see. I see some of them. Put something in the comments and let me know where you are in this journey. Because listen, we can't do this alone. So that's all. You all have a good rest of your day, and I will talk to you soon. Don't forget, listen to the Grace Lee podcast. We'll be talking about this on tomorrow. Bye.